This is a hot button topic for me because I'm going to get a little animated talking about this, I think. Do you go after the record this week?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Idiots.
Yes.
You're idiots.
Dude, Eric.
Whoa,
No offense.
Yeah,
You're being idiots. You're not idiots.
My
You're being
screen is
idiots.
frozen right now.
Yeah.
My screen is frozen, but I'm still,
It should be frozen for such a cold take.
No, this is what
Keep him frozen with this cold ass take.
This is what I would say. I would, which I think he would decline, but I would give enough respect and ask Saquon if he cares about it and if he wants to go. And if he does, let him know you're getting 15 carries in the first half. You get the
15
record.
15 carries in the first half? Were you going to kill the guy?
Is that killing him?
No,
it's
not in a vacuum. But the point is, one of the things about Saquon that everybody said for years now was like, if he could just stay healthy. He stayed healthy the entire year. He's run for 2,000 yards.
Reward him for it.
If you want there to be one Super Bowl trophy in the it's right there. If you want that to be the only fucking one, go get his ankle rolled up this week.
I got you.
Seriously.
Yo, you're absolutely right. Like the smart move is to not go after the record. I agree with you. But I just want to see him get it.
I want to see him get it too.
Yeah.
But
that's all I'm saying.
So can I
hold on? I have a mention I want to give out.
Okay, go ahead.
Worst seat award is Eric Dickerson. Yeah, look at that frozen ass face. He is 100% a hater.
What's wrong with you?
Seen the things that Dickerson is saying?
What's he saying
in the media? He's saying like records aren't meant to be broken. I'm absolutely not rooting for him to break my record. Things of that, and it's so funny.
No, it's just good to see some like honesty because I got to be honest. Pretty much everybody has ever had a record doesn't want the record to be broken.
Exactly.
And you could sit there on the
but then you see corny ass RG3 like kind of throwing shade at Dickerson
because
like congrats to
RG3 is relevant right now. It's like RG3 is relevant right now. Like realistically for us,
he though?
Like
he was on Netflix.
Like I mean, he is like for us. Like unless you're
more relevant than us,
unless you're a real deep football fan, like you're not really thinking about Eric Dickerson like that. And it's just one of those things. If you're him, you got to think about for marketing stuff, any relevancy. NFL is a
signing
place that
footballs,
all that.
It's like
stuff.
the Mark Gastineau thing. He was so mad about that record.
Exactly,
took money out of his pocket.
Yeah, because every year, even if you can make an extra $5 to $10,000 doing signings because you have the rushing title or whatever it is. Like NFL is a place, or pro sports period.
It's
like,
a bad look though, man. It's a hater play.
It's not.
You know what? Every once in a while, I'm okay with somebody being honest. Now, Now I'll also say this: like, got one more game in general.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so like that matters to me. And the other thing is, Saquon Barkley doesn't have anything to prove. Saquon Barkley is the best back on the planet, and he might be the best offensive football player, regardless of position on the planet. Like he might be. You know, the quarterback.
Think there's a part
what's
of
the
Saquon
delta between Saquon? What's the
wants to break the rushing record against his former
this frozen
team,
face just fucking cutting in on. Hey, frozen face. Listen to me and listen to me good. There's the delta between Saquon and the next best running back in the league, and that might be Derrick Henry. Is still there's a gap there, in my opinion.
Can I take a selfish take?
Yeah, sure.
So if I'm Saquon, you got to think about this. Obviously, I know the bigger goal is Super Bowl, and some people feel like season Super Bowl or bust. That's what I want to get. But for him, I just feel like you go get this record because if the Super Bowl shit doesn't happen, like this is still like a historic and great season, even though the 2000 still is. But breaking that record, having that, I feel like if the season ended up being disappointed, I feel like that would ease the disappointment a little bit down the road.
Oh man, we lost in the first round, but at least we have that rushing rate. And I hear you on that, but that's a telling hedge if you're thinking that way.
I get
that's not what we're talking about. Is if you are in the football building, and I know the guys have said the offensive line wants to do it. Jason Kelsey was on TV and said, I think they should go for it. I disagree. Hey, I disagree because the number one thing is hoisting that fucking trophy in a month and a half. And that will change everybody's life in that building forever. Yep. When you win a championship, nothing is the same. And the feeling, the confetti falling on you, my D-line coach in St. Louis, we used to struggle as a team. And he'd be like, guys, my one wish for you is to feel that confetti falling. And I got to tell you, it was even better than I thought. And I have chills right now thinking about it. And if it were to be derailed, and it would be, by him getting dinged, and let's say it's a stub toe, I don't want to say anything serious because we're just talking hypotheticals, then it would be the most idiotic thing that a pro franchise in the NFL has done in the past 5 to 10 years, in my opinion, on the field in week 18. Idiotic. If he gets, and you know, it's not fair to judge based on an arbitrary result like that could be just total chance, but that's the way you're going to be judged. So just be careful if you want to listen to all the fans, and if the owner wants to come downstairs and say, oh, we need this record,
What do you say to
Jeffrey
the
needs to
O-lineman?
get out of the way of the team.
What do you say to the old linemen? What if the old linemen are like, because they're like, oh, let's do it, let's do it. What if
Hey,
Lane-
sorry guys. Hey, take that resentment and that you're harboring because we didn't let you get the record and run people the fuck over in the playoff.
Lane did
Yeah.
say yesterday, Eric Dickerson is who he is, Saquon is who he is. We just wanted to get to 2,000. We were fine with that.
There you
Better
go.
safe than sorry.
That was all.
Yeah, you know what?
can't take
You know what
moment
that
away.
tells us? That tells us. Hey, I'm unfrozen, by the way. What's up, boys?
Yeah, I see it.
Fucking back, son. But no, that quote from Lane tells me that they're not gonna chase the record.
And Adam Schefter came
That's
out
what-
this morning and said, hey, I would be floored if Saquon played. So it looks like they're going to do the safe thing. I just wanted to check the temperature in this room and see if there were any Joe fans in here. And y'all are Joe fanning it up today.
Now,
Don't tempt fate. That's
Bo the fan wants to watch Saquon break Eric the hater Dickerson's record. Bo the player, if I was in the Eagles locker room, I'd say absolutely do not fucking play.
Yeah, right,
That's
right.
the luxury that we have, Chris.
I know,
We're
but I'm
just
trying.
regular
I can't
Joes.
get out of the player mindset. And also Eric Dickerson, although Eagles fans might hate him right now because he's been framed as a hater, is giving you refreshing honesty. And
Shout out.
he was an electric interview on the Green Light podcast a couple years ago. He told incredible stories. I love the guy. And so I don't care that he's being honest and looking like a hater. And quite
I
frankly,
respect
I love
it.
it.
that moment where they called a timeout, got him 2,000 yards in front of 70,000 fans in Kelly Green in the middle of a shellacking of the Cowboys was poetry. And
Yeah.
yes, it would be nice to bury the knife in Joe Shane's chest next week and twist it and be like, hey, you stupid motherfucker, look at this.
Exactly.
Look at
Poetic
this.
justice, man. That's what we love about football. Like
It'd
what
be
goes
like
around comes around.
it'd be like
you know?
your oldest son being coached by his stepdad to a national championship, and you have to like go to the games and shit. Seriously, hey, that's what it would be. And it would be great. The Eagle in me is like, and I don't even hate the Giants like Eagles fans hate them. I was only there 2 years, but yeah, boy, would it be nice to rub their face in dog shit like stepbrothers. But I think the smart thing to do, the right brain thing to do in this scenario is to just sit the guy because you're going to need him to carry a load in the playoffs.
And his incentives are not related to getting this rushing record. The only incentives he has left is win the NFC Championship and win the Super Bowl for an extra
But
500
these
grand.
are life incentives if he got that, bro. This is for life.
You know what a life, this is
how-
a fucking life
Yeah,
incentive, bro.
yeah,
it
And
is.
sorry,
Absolutely.
NFL, that I am
Absolutely it is.
displaying my trophy on my podcast and you're not getting a
It
dollar
ab-
out of this
it
because
absolutely
you don't
is.
have enough money.
But how many did Eric Dickerson win a Super Bowl?
No.
And that's what I'm saying. Even though he didn't win one, he still is somewhat relevant because
But you
he
know
has the rushing title. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to down.
I know, but
like,
do you know
getting
what
to
else
a Super
factors into
Bowl.
guys from back in the day
What's that?
makes them rightfully haters sometimes is like they paved the way for our era
Yeah.
and didn't get compensated.
They didn't
the way
get
they
paid.
compensated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, my dad
agree.
was one of the best players in the NFL on defense.
Yeah.
And when he retired, he still had to work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know, it just was a different time. And so for guys like that, Saquon's not, I don't see Saquon as a guy 30 years from now is like, that was my Russian record. Like, you know, he's going to be sitting somewhere playing golf in good health,
I feel
Chill.
it.
enjoying his family, God willing, and hopefully he'll have a Super Bowl ring.
So you wouldn't go for that half sack. Or this
I'm
is
not
more
Saquon
like,
Barkley. And
No,
it's-
no.
you know what I mean?
hear-
It's
I hear
different
you.
for a defensive end than the centerpiece for the entire,
Okay.
you know.
I got
Hey, if
in
it
my
was
opinion.
2018, 2019, Chris would be playing every snap of this Eagles game anyway.
No question, bro. No question. Me and Bo were out there in the 0-degree weather, tackling Zeke Elliott.
Took on 30 double teams that game. That's when we went to the New Year's Eve party. I was fucking
And I
CP'd
love
out.
playing
All
football.
all the
So I was-
lights were extra bright.
Yeah, it was
for New Year's
crazy.
Eve.
Hey, here's
Can we
another
talk
thing.
about this actual game though.
Yeah, here's the
Second,
thing.
like,
So the question is, you're going to play New York. What do you do with Jalen? My vote, play him early, get him in a rhythm, throw the ball around the yard a little bit, knock the cobwebs off. Sometimes quarterbacks come back from concussions. They start a little slow. You don't want to see a guy start slow in the playoffs. So I'd like to see him play well, yank him.
Yank him.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's like, think of it like a fourth preseason game, back in the day, or like, I guess like a third preseason game. Like, just get him some reps, make him feel comfy, and get him the fuck out of there.
Yeah, that's it. What?
Saquon is way more important than Jalen?
What are you trying to do here?
I'm just asking.
Jalen has to be in a rhythm going in the playoffs. That's why he's playing. Saquon doesn't need to get in a rhythm.
Okay.
Saquon's a bigger
Jalen
player
can also
than Jalen.
protect himself. He can slide. He's one of the more protected football players on the field. If he
He's been out
scrambles,
2
he can
weeks.
slide.
He just got
And
hurt.
he's been
bro.
out.
the ball.
Sliding.
I understand, but what I'm saying is, are you making the case for sitting Jalen but starting Saquon?
No. Like that they both like I thought you would be like just everyone sit.
No, you got the quarterback.
The
The
backups haven't shown like that they can kind of do their thing.
It's not about them doing their thing. It's
Not about that. It's
Jalen
about
being
making sure
in
they're
rhythm going
playing
into
their
the
best
playoffs.
ball.
I got you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And to me, Saquon sitting, he's not going to forget how to play running back
Mhm.
in 2 weeks. Where quarterback, now you're going to be talking about a 3 week layoff. He's already missed the game. He missed half the Commanders game. If you sit him next week, it's 2.5 games. He's out. And
I
then
wouldn't be surprised if they do sit him though, Chris. Like, we don't know his full status.
no, I don't know either. If the concussion protocol deal is still not in his favor, then obviously you sit him.
Right.
But if he's healthy, you play him. In my opinion,
Agreed.
if you
I agree.
don't play him, there's a risk he starts slow in a playoff game. If he plays the Packers, who I think are a threat, as most teams are when you see him in the playoffs. In Brazil, he started slow against that team.
Mhm.
They started slow against that team. It was a lot closer than it maybe should have been. You do not want your quarterback trotting out there and hearing the boo birds late in the second quarter because, say Josh Jacobs and the Packers possess the ball or, you throw a couple incompletions, you go 3 and out. You've seen how some of these first quarters can look from this team. Can't do that in the playoffs. Cannot do that in the playoffs.